Hey everybody, what is up? Destiny 2 on PC. It's a thing. I've played it, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions on the Crucible, on how it plays, how it feels, the balance, and most importantly, how the mouse and keyboard feels compared to the controller in a competitive environment. So as we know so far, Destiny 2's PvP is all about that 4v4 action. There's no more 6v6 or 8v8 or 2v2v2, none of that. It's all just straight 4v4. And a lot of people speculate that the reason for that is to cut down on lag. Well, at least on PC, I can confirm that I had very, very few bouts of actual lag, if any, in my over an hour to 2 hour playtime in the Crucible. I honestly didn't experience any memorable moments where I was like, oh yeah, lag killed me. Or where I killed someone and they killed me in return. Trading kills in Destiny 2 is much more rare compared to Destiny 1 due to, 1, the lack of lag, and 2, the fact that shotguns and snipers are very rare because those are exclusively a part of your heavy items now. So no more shotgun or sniper spam on those bigger maps or smaller maps. Man, that's got me very, very happy. So now you have a combination of short, medium, and long-range weapons that are basically a mix between SMGs, pulse rifles, hand cannons, the gambit. And the best part is that none of these weapons feels overpowered or bullshitty like they did in Destiny 1. Where the vast majority in Destiny 1 would use shotguns all the time and sprint and crouch around corners, that is so not a thing now. Now everybody's rolling SMGs or hand cannons or longer range weapons, and close range battles are a lot more thrilling and a lot more, well, I don't really know what's going to happen. Instead of, oh, I expect him to slide around the corner with a shotgun and one-shot me. Yep, there it is. Now, as far as modes, the beta allowed us to play 2 different types of modes. Quick play, which is your standard 4v4 control gameplay, and then competitive, which is something more akin to setting bombs or defending the points against the bombers, and it's also a combination of elimination, where if you die, you stay dead unless your team revives you. And that's also 4v4, and that was a mode that I found rather interesting and honestly rather fun. There were a lot of instances where people would leave the game for one reason or another. Sometimes I noticed that people would leave before the match even ended, either because they were losing or maybe they were having a bad time, or it was because of lag. Who's to really say? But the shitty thing is nobody rejoined once they left. So if you go down a person, it's likely going to stay that way until the end of the match, at least in the beta. I don't know about the full game. We'll see in a few days once it comes out on console, but on PC, that's how it was. Now, in terms of the maps themselves, they played pretty alright, and they looked pretty alright. I found the map for the control mode rather unappealing visually. I didn't think it was all that impressive. It honestly looked rather standard. It also didn't seem to have, almost as if it were unfinished in some ways, and maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe there's a whole nother like graphical visual patch or whatever they're going to do to it. I could be completely wrong though, but it didn't seem like something as graphically amazing as the story that I played prior to playing the Crucible. Now, the other map in the competitive mode I found visually was a bit better. I liked the way the grass looked and the trees and the way everything moved in the wind. That was all pretty realistic and, I mean, well, as realistic as Destiny's going to get, but it did look good. And it played good too. Both maps utilize a similar 3-lane system, and it works. And here's the part where we talk about how it felt to play on PC. To play Destiny 2 on the mouse and keyboard feels awesome. It feels natural. It feels great. Having that field of view increase was just a godsend. It made everything feel bigger, look better. The game runs like a dream. I run the game maxed out, and no matter what I put the game through, the strike, the competitive multiplayer, the story mode that it gave us, it was all 60 frames per second, no problem. A 1080p, everything maxed out. And I have a pretty modest rig, an i5, 3.2 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1060, 3 gigabyte. I mean, that's fairly modest. It's not amazing. Being able to take all the keys and put them where I want to on the keyboard was really great. I put the melee and grenade buttons on my mouse, changed a couple of things around so that they were closer to the WASD keys. It just made everything that much smoother and great. It was a little difficult to aim in terms of being accurate with your guns when everybody's moving as fast as they are. I mean, it's not like Counter-Strike or Quake or really anything like that, anything close to that in terms of speed. But it did take a little bit of practice to get somewhat accurate. But once I felt like I was doing pretty well. My friend who was also playing with me confirmed that when he was playing with the controller, auto-aim was turned on and it felt just like how it felt in Destiny 1. It even gave him an advantage in terms of his ability to kill others simply due to that fact. And it's not because the controller is more powered or anything, it's more just that he was more comfortable with that. Overall, I gotta say, I came away somewhat impressed with how the game felt, how the game played, and how the game looked after a couple of hours of Crucible shenanigans. It's not perfect, and I don't really know the scope of what the full game will offer, but thankfully, the PC version isn't coming out until October 28th, whereas the console version is coming out in less than a week from the posting of this video. So that means, for us PC players, we get a full scope view of what the game is actually going to offer before we have the opportunity to buy it. This means that we can avoid that issue that Destiny 1 had, where they delayed reviews until launch day. Not only that, but we didn't really have an idea of the scope of the content until a week or two afterwards, and then we figured out that, hey, this is lacking a lot of content. So that is something we can avoid with Destiny 2 on PC, and I'm excited to see whether or not Destiny 2 lives up to the lofty expectations that a lot of people have, including myself. One last thing though, comparing the Destiny 1 Crucible to how the Crucible in Destiny 2 on PC played and felt, it is night and day. I would prefer the Destiny 2 Crucible 10 times out of 10 if every map and every game mode played as good as the 2 maps and 2 game modes that we got did. So let me know in the comments down below, did you experience Destiny 2 on PC yet? If so, let me know your thoughts on how it played, how it felt. Are you going to buy it day one? Have you already pre-ordered it? We'll have a discussion about Destiny 2 and the Crucible in the comments. I'll be there, and that'll be fun. If you enjoyed the video, then you know what buttons to press to make me happy as a YouTuber. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your continued support on my channel, and I will catch you next time.